Alrighty, so I am now on the step where I'm going to go to the current projects worksheet. So I've tabbed over from the completed projects to the current projects, and it wants us to insert a row. And we're going to enter the following data in, just as it shows on the table in the instructions. Zoning. 30 days, public, it's going to be a loan type. Oops. Loan 2000, no and no. Alright, so I've got that new row in there. It says sort the current projects in ascending order by funding amount. So I can click over here, sort ascending by funding amount. Alright, and then it wants to use an advanced filter. So in H17, right over here, I'm going to type the word yes, because we're basically going to take this table and filter it down and then put it in a new location just so he can see the ones that are just in development. To me, this is kind of a silly way to do it, but it does show you the advanced filtering option. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor up in here. I'm going to go over to my data tab. I'm going to go to the advanced filter, and it already has selected the entire table because I had just put my cursor in here. The criteria range will be the criteria here, and in this case we're going to copy it to a new location. And I believe it says starting in the range A19 through H. So if we go like that, then it should copy it down. Bingo. So then it moves on. It says they also want to know those projects that are not in development. So it says in the current projects table, which is this one, right? It says, yes, I'm in the current projects table. Use the filter arrows to limit the table displays to projects that are not in development. Alright, so if I haven't, okay, yeah, so I can basically come up here and I can filter the whole thing, and this is just another way. So now I can just select the ones that are not in development. So that is another way to filter. So this was like an advanced filter based on a criteria. This is another way to filter, right? To me, I like to use this way better. How did I do that? I just grabbed this thing and I said, hey, can you filter on these levels? And it looks down below at the data types. Like if I was to go to approved, it would have yes, no over here. If I were to go to the funding, it would have the different funding amounts. So there's many different ways that I can filter. But to get this problem right, I'm going to click the no, and those are the ones that are not in development. Next step is to go to the proposed projects, and in the projects, which lists projects that were proposed for 2021. Dean suspects the proposed project has a duplicate record. Identify the duplicate records. Clear the filter. Alright, so I can tell there's a filter because I've got this little, do you see how that looks different than that? Right? So, I can go like this and go clear the filter. Right? Is there any other filter? Alright, I think I've got them all now. Alright, another way you could do is you could just take the whole filter off, but I don't think it's asking us to do that. Let's see, clear the filter from the proposed projects. Yeah, so that's what we did from the proposed projects. Alright, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to grade it, so if it wants the whole funding thing off, then we can just take the filter off and it'll take it off of everywhere. So I'm not, again, really sure how it's going to grade that. So you could take it off of one particular thing, or you could take the filtering off altogether. Alright, but really what we're looking for here is we're looking for a duplicate record, right? So it says in the ranges A2 to A14. A2 to A14 create a conditional formatting. So I'm just going to highlight that. Right, that displays the cells with duplicate values. All right, so this is one of the neatest things you'll ever learn. Over here in home conditioner, we're going to do duplicate values. So we're basically going to highlight cells that are either greater than, less than, so on and so forth, or we can just highlight cells that have a duplicate value. And we're going to the thing I just did wrong there is I've just got to highlight A12, just the project name filter, right? Not the whole table. I had done the whole table. You're just supposed to do column A. I'm going to format the duplicate values with a light red, which is basically the default color, and click OK. So you can see that there's a duplicate value called Sunset Heights right? It says delete the second instance of the duplicate record. And you could either delete that because you know it's there, or another cool thing you can go is you can do in this, because we know that there's a duplicate in column A, we can go over to the data tab. If you were on the home tab, you go to the data tab, go to remove duplicates, and you can actually tell it which column. So you want it to remove it from the project names like this, and it will do it automatically for you. Did you see how that was? That was pretty cool, huh? Next step is to add a column to the proposed projects table and determine which projects meet the criteria. And it says in G1, I'm in G1, it says type fast track. And it automatically color codes that all because it knows that it's in a table. Okay, the next step wants you to type in a formula using the AND function. I'm just going off of my directions here. Using the AND function that includes structures to display if the word true, which is part of the AND function, if the project is a mixed use type loan. So we're going to come over here and we're going to type in either f of x and type in the AND function. You can just type in A and D and then go, and the AND function will come up. Another way you can do this is if you're on the home tab, you go to the formulas tab. It is a logical test. Okay, well, apparently let's try that again. Right, there's my AND function. So is D2 equal to mixed use. I have to have that in parentheses. And is E2 equal to loan? And again, I have to have that in parentheses. And in the case of here, it's false because this is a public grant. That's a commercial loan. Here's a mixed use, but it's a tax credit. So the only one that's true, well, there's a couple that are true, is here's a mixed use kind of facility that's a loan, and there's a mixed use that's a loan. So that's how you solve that one.